I believe it's arguably one of the most poorly planned videos of all time. Not all time, but there's just so much wrong in this video. So let's watch it. Here we go.
Hi folks, my name is Millennial Smark and I'm back at it again for another video. So I'll make this as quick as humanly possible. Look, I'm perfectly fine and I'm perfectly content with the fact that Bobby Lashley's a new WWE champion. My only problem stemming from this whole situation and this.
First off, I know you're black. Do I know if you're full 100% black? I don't care about none of that. But I know you're black. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So now that I know that you are black, just based off your voice and how you talk in this video, I understand where we're going in the direction that we're going. Let's continue.
It's just me. I know people are going to think about this a lot differently. I know people are going to take this out of context. Look, I'm perfectly fine with Bobby Lashley being WWE champion. My only thing is, why couldn't you have waited till WrestleMania to do this? Why can you wait to WrestleMania to do this? You mean to tell me you guys were so sick of The Miz that you couldn't bear the thought of him being WWE champion for at least a month and a half till we got to WrestleMania where he could have dropped the championship to Bobby Lashley? Here's the thing, and this is the problem that I always have with the whole situation with Bobby Lashley being WWE champion. Never mind the fact that we're gonna get the fucking idiots, especially in today's.
So before we get to his next part that he's gonna talk about, he said, why couldn't they have Miz be champion for a month and a half, essentially? I don't know. Maybe because WWE had a storyline played out. I don't know. Maybe because at Elimination Chamber we saw MVP talking to the Miz, and this was at the time where Bobby lost the United States Championship. Maybe, just maybe, WWE wanted to act on Bobby becoming WWE champion, not try to spread it out, stretch it out, maybe because it wasn't believable. Who knows? So the fact that you're already complaining that Miz got a short title reign, that this is all storyline. Matter of fact, when's the last time you seen a chicken shit heel make a deal with somebody as impressive and as dominant like Bobby Lashley in the Hurt Business, and it actually goes through with it? They go through with the deal and they actually put the title on the dominant person. You never seen that before. So the fact that you're already complaining, but I understand your sentiments. You wanted Miz to be a longer champion. No wrong in that. But the fact that you're already looking at the negativity just goes to show you don't understand storyline and you don't understand plot. You don't understand what we have. Clearly, we're going to the direction that Drew McIntyre versus Bobby. I'm more excited for Bobby to walk in as WWE champion, considering he'll be the only person besides The Rock, who's Toby Black, we'll get to that, who's ever walked into WrestleMania as WWE champion. I'm also very curious if Bobby actually, here we go, retains at WrestleMania with his WWE championship intact. That's what I'm curious about. But let's continue with the video.
Today's day and age where people are going to probably take out of context. Let's think about it. We live in an age right now where everybody's a fucking moron and everybody has to use race for every situation in order to make an opinion about something, okay? And the problem is, and this is...
First off, I just wanted to say this. Your thumbnail is horrible. You're basically abiding by the false narratives out there that somehow fans are going to say, if you don't give Bobby the championship, you're racist. We're past that point, bro. We're past that. So not only are you abiding by narratives by fans, and these are black fans that you think that are going to say this, and probably some other races, but mainly black fans, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. You're forcing a narrative that hasn't even been spoke about. And it's in your thumbnail and you're talking about it now. Yeah, I don't like that. But again, let's move on because there's just so much wrong in this video.
Not even Bobby Lashley's fault. When he wins the WWE Championship, he's going to lose the WWE Championship.
Yes.
Now, my thing is, okay, you booked yourselves to a corner in WWE. See, I look at it from the standpoint.
How did they book themselves into a corner? What corner did they book themselves? How? What? Where? There is no corner to book themselves. Literally, there's none. They want a dominant world champion, a dominant WWE champion, and they have that in Bobby Lashley. The Miz was what they call filler. He was filler. He was great filler, but he was filler. There was no believable aspect that The Miz was going to defeat Bobby Lashley. There just wasn't. And it made sense due to the story. But let's talk about this little corner that WWE has backed themselves into. Like, let's talk about that. There's no corner that they back themselves in. Whoever wins is whoever wins. Simple as that. Y'all got to stop looking that deeply into this. Simple as that. Now, do I think WWE is going to do the right thing and have Bobby win? Yes. But there's a very big possible chance that Drew could win. Why? Because Drew needed that moment in the sun with the fans at WrestleMania. So I truly understand that. And if there's anybody who deserves to main event WrestleMania after the bullshit that happened in 2020, it's Drew McIntyre. What better moment, what better fight, what better match than Drew versus Bobby? Simple as that. Sometimes you got to back yourself into a corner to get the best outcomes. Simple as that, bro. You got to start looking at things at a different perspective. Like, you're looking at this at a whole, like, the same old narrative perspective. Like, just a smart. Just a smart. Like, that's what he is. But whatever. Let's keep going.
The guy in order to be the filler. And granted, you can still go in that direction. But it doesn't seem like they're going to go in that direction. It seems that they got that belt off of The Miz just to have somewhat of a transitional champion. To get to Bobby Lashley. Just to have McIntyre chase after a Miz. You know what I mean? And see, my thing is, you're going to have people who are going to most likely take things out of context when the time comes when Bobby Lashley loses that WWE Championship to Drew McIntyre, because it's going to happen. It might not happen at WrestleMania. It might not happen, but it's going to happen. And people are going to
So what's the problem then? Why are we even talking about this? Why you don't even believe it yourself that Drew's going to win it at WrestleMania. So my thing is, though, here's my big thing. Here's my big moment in the sun. If Bobby walks in to WrestleMania, matter of fact, if Bobby walks into WrestleMania as the main event of WrestleMania and walks out of WrestleMania in the main event as WWE champion, that's it. I don't care if Bobby loses it at the next pay-per-view. They gave that to Bobby. They gave that to Bobby. Not everybody. Sorry, not everybody has to be a number one contender. Then they have to wait and climb to WrestleMania. That story has been told. That story has been told already. It just recently got told with Kofi. Then last year with Drew. Bianca. Like, that story has been told. We're through with that. This is a different outlook, a different perspective on how we want the WWE Championship to be booked. And it was booked greatly after Elimination Chamber. It was great. Simple as that. Let's continue.
You look at it and they're going to probably go back to the whole narrative of WWE being racist because everybody's a fucking idiot. And God knows that Bobby Lashley, the first ever real.
Again, pushing these narratives.
Look, I understand The Rock is a former WWE champion. Look, we're not taking. Look, I'm not talking about Toby Black. I'm talking about Kunta Kinte Black, all right?
And that's a problem I have. My kids are mixed. My kids are half black. So you're telling me because my kids are Toby Black and not Kunta Kinte Black that it doesn't count? And on top of that, did you not, like, Bobby, I don't even think is African descent. Like, we're all African descent, the people who are black people, yes. But Kofi Kingston was legit an African. He was born in Ghana. He was born in Ghana. How do you forget that, bro? How do you forget that? Kofi was born in Ghana. That is a true African American. Do you understand that? So never mind you taking something away from The Rock, who was in, I don't know, here we go, Nation of Domination, who mainly talked about black skin and the fact they had all black members. Like, you're weird. I get it. I used to be young just like you, bro. I used to be young just, matter of fact, I'm a Gen Z smart. No, I'm joking. But I used to be young just like you. And I thought, man, The Rock, you know, he's mixed, talk about his Samoan side, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't count. That's dumb. That's dumb. It does count. I don't give a fuck if it's Kunta Kinte Black, Toby Black, light skin, dark skin, brown skin. It doesn't matter. Never mind the fact that Kofi was WWE champion in 2019. And he's from Ghana. So why are we even talking about The Rock? This is the third time there's been a black WWE champion. 2 out of 3 are dark-skinned men. Let me rephrase that. 2 out of 3 are dark-skinned men. That right there just clears it all up. Let's continue.
Like, you get what I mean. Let's not play stupid here. Let's not play stupid here, all right? The Rock is Toby. He's Toby who won the WWE Championship, right? Bobby Lashley is Kuta Kente. Both are African American. One is African American. Let's you know what I'm saying.
Sad case that these black people think.
Booker T, if he would have won the World Championship, the Bobby Lashley would be number 2. Technically number 3, but number 2.
And then, like, again, did you not forget Kofi? You said Booker T, if he won a world championship, he did win a world championship. But now we're arguing schematics. We're arguing schematics. Because you're talking about the WWE Championship. I know that. But you just said he'll be number 2, number 3. No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. If Booker T won a WWE Championship, he would be number 2. Followed by Kofi Kingston, who was at number 3. And then number 4, Bobby Lashley. Do your fucking work, bro. Do your work. Stop coming on here spewing shit because people are going to listen to it and buy into it. That's not what's up.
You know what I mean? Whatever. I know people are going to probably take that out of the contest, but you get what I mean. My point being is, though, he's going to lose that WWE Championship one of these days to Drew McIntyre, and the last thing I need is for people to try to call out racism or some bullshit like that.
Nobody.
Storyline standpoint, Drew McIntyre.
If they were going to do it, they would have did it with Brock Lesnar and Kofi. Nobody's going to do that. We're past that point. Stop bringing up old shit. Literally, it's tiring. You're a black man pushing narratives in WWE. We don't need to hear that. We are finally in a space where we're seeing multiple black people be WWE champion. Let's move on from all that racism shit. You're playing into their hands. Like, come on.
Again, you guys just couldn't wait. You guys so much fun at how you were booking the Miz tonight as far as being a chicken shit hill. You mean to tell me you couldn't do that throughout the night? You mean to tell me you couldn't do that throughout Fastlane? You couldn't eventually get to Bobby Lashley versus the Miz at Fastlane, and then Drew McIntyre screws him over? And then if you want to at least put the belt on Bobby Lashley, which I think and agree that
For what, though? Everything you're saying is predictable. Why go in that direction? That is predictable. WWE did something different. They hopped on it. They said right away, we want Bobby to be WWE champion. And now there's a chicken shit heel who made a deal with the most dominant force in Bobby Lashley / the Hurt Business, and he came to collect. He came to collect. And on top of that, Bobby defeated Braun Strowman clean. And on top of that, Drew wanted no motherfucking part, which is smart. Why had Drew screw him over? For what? Everything you're saying is predictable. That is the problem with you fans. Y'all want everything to be predictable. Y'all want everything to go y'all way. Let's do it at Fastlane. Y'all want to book this shit so bad that when something doesn't happen your way and it's actually different and unique, y'all look at it like it's a bad thing, like it's a negative thing. That's sad. That is sad. Everybody knows there's such thing as filler champions and or transitional champions. In this case, Miz was just a transitional champion. And they hopped the gun really fast. And I'm not mad at it. And you shouldn't be either.
Should be a case that should happen because both of those guys have monster pushes. Then maybe have a triple threat match at WrestleMania, and then have the Miz lose it, and he'll be the plot device in order to take it off. You know.
For what though? For what? Like everything you say in the typical, go to a triple threat WrestleMania match, just like Daniel Bryan and have like 1/2 or 2 halves of the Evolution, and then the whole Chris Benoit joint. That's boring. That's boring. It's the same old story recycled over and over and over and over. Get over it, bro. Get over it. You watch WWE so much, and I know you have because you're recycling old storylines. For the sake of what? For the sake of what? To protect the Miz, to protect Bobby and Drew? No, bro. We gonna go at this like an old-fashioned brawl. 2 alpha males and Drew and Bobby. Like I said, I'm more curious to see if Bobby can walk in WWE champion at WrestleMania, especially if he gets the main event, and if he can walk out. Either way, we needed a black champion to walk in to WrestleMania as WWE champion and not just win it. And on top of that, again, that story's been told not only black people, but with Asians and Hispanics and white people. They win the world title at WrestleMania. That story has been told. That story's been told. This creates excitement, buzz leading into WrestleMania, and it seems like you can't understand that. It's a long
like,
video,
okay, Drew
man, but
McIntyre never lost, but Bobby Lashley won. You mean to tell me that could have been the circumstances? It's not like we're
typical
gonna pretend
storytelling by WWE that he
every
wanted.
main event WrestleMania. So I mean, I don't see the reason as to why they couldn't have a match. It's not like we're gonna pretend that, like Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, because WWE always has to be woke as fuck, and they're gonna most likely have that main event night one. You know what?
Why does WWE have to be woke as fuck? This is literally like, oh my god, I'm starting to think you hate yourself and you hate seeing black people prosper. I'm literally starting to think that. I don't know if that's the case. I don't think that's the case. I think you're just trying overly hard to be like an analyst and break down things, even though you're wrong and you said a lot of wrong shit in here. Like factually, you said a lot of wrong shit. No, like not taken out of context or anything. But when it comes to Sasha Banks and Bianca, that is the first time, not only for the men, not only for the women, but that is the first time two black people, men or women, will face off against each other at WrestleMania for a world title, possibly in the main event of WrestleMania. One of them won the Royal Rumble, the second black person to ever win the Royal Rumble, the first woman, the first black woman, to win a Royal Rumble. And you saying WWE's woke? No, maybe they understand what it is. Maybe they understand that this is the money maker. This is the moment that we need to capitalize on. You got to do better, bro. You got to do better. For you to be like they're woke as fuck. No, this is money. This is the match that everybody wants to see. And whether everybody doesn't want to see or not, this is history in the making. This is different. This is going to change the climate of WWE moving forward. You have to do better, bro. You got to do better.
I just think there are elements about this that could have went completely different if people, and WWE for that matter, would have just had patience. I mean, from what I was seeing with The Miz tonight, it's not like, I mean, was he really that bad, folks? Was it really that bad to just avoid? I don't know. That's just me. But let me know down in the comment section below how you feel. Am I taking this out of context? Am I the only person who's not looking at the grander scheme of this whole thing? Look, I get it.
What grander scheme? I'm looking at the grander scheme. You're looking at it like you're trying to pick him and do this and try to book it yourself. No, that's no.
My whole consensus behind the whole thing is the fact that Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley already fought within the season. Okay.
Exactly. Which is why they're going to hold off at WrestleMania.
For WWE always starts the season premiere is the night after WrestleMania, and the season finale is at WrestleMania. And they fought within the season already. You know, that was Drew's first ever title defense, not counting the Big Show.
And then he said that was Drew's first ever title defense. That's not true at all. This is not true. Drew's first ever title defense, not including the Big Show, was who? Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank. I don't even have to edit anything. I just know that because I'm actually a loyal WWE fan who watches their program and who breaks down everything. I don't come on videos spreading false narratives and not being factual. Simple as that. I look at things from a perspective lens. So multiple perspectives. I look. Either way, he doesn't really know his shit. Millennial Smark, you don't know your shit. You have to do better, my guy. You got to do better. That video was arguably one of the most poorly done videos I've seen in a long time. Not only were you factually wrong about a lot of stuff, disregarded Kofi's wrong, talked about disregarded and tried to erase The Rock's history as being black, you have done a lot of wrong things. Factually and everything in between. Do better, my guy.